Hello, welcome to Tarot Concertina. In this reading, we'll get a snapshot of our soul's journey as it traverses this lifetime. We'll use the cards to help us decode what impressions your past life self has left upon you, what advice your future self would want to give to you, and what actions you can take now to enhance your present life and the lives of those around you. We have 3 piles for you to choose from. Pile 1 will be represented by this rainbow card and the fitting rainbow moonstone pyramid. Pile 2 will be the sea star and this piece of polished glass. And pile 3 will be the Lynx and the tiger's eye sphere. Take a moment to feel what pile calls to you, and there will be timestamps in the description box where you can select pile 1, 2, or pile 3. Hi, pile 1, you chose the rainbow card and the rainbow moonstone. The rainbow card is all about optimism and often appears after or during a storm, and it's a symbol of hope. Can also be about finding fortune, staying positive, finding that gold at the end of the rainbow. And it's also about inclusion, representing all the colors of the rainbow, of course. So let's see what the tarot has to say about your present, past, and future selves. I'll be using the Tarot of the Drowning World deck. Going to shuffle while I tune into the energy of pile 1. I've created a 7-card spread. And I'll explain the positions as I lay down the cards. Card 1 is the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, representing you, your soul. Card 2, we have 9 of Pentacles in right side up, as your strengths. Card 3, your challenges, the Magician. Card 4 is the Moon in reverse, and this represents your mission, sense of purpose in this lifetime. Card 5, we have the 2 of Swords in reverse. Echoes of the past, I'm calling this position. So echoes from your past life that could be affecting you now and in the future. Card 6, the Chariot in reverse. This is transmissions from your future self. And card 7 is 6 of Wands, representing what you can do now at this moment in time as you're experiencing life in the present moment. So in this lifetime, it seems like you have 2 goals, 2 seeds you've planted that ideally would come to fruition somehow. You might have 2 careers, or have like a life devoted to, for example, love and relationships, and then the other is like a personal goal of yours. It's like saying you don't juggle, you hold both of those equally. So it may mean your soul here has a dual purpose. We'll clarify more and dive into what those two things are. And then we have your strengths as 9 of Pentacles. So very fruitful person, though I'm just noticing all the produce. Peaches? Yeah, in this card. So after a lot of work and expertise, you've become very independent. You're very good at what you do. You've reached a mastery of some kind of pursuit of yours, all on your own. And what's crossing you as a challenge in this lifetime is the Magician. Usually I think of the Magician energy as a positive influence. If we consider how it might be challenging you, you might have a lot of ideas, a lot of tools at your disposal, and you might be bringing in too many ideas, too many influences. So the Magician usually pulls in from the ether or spirit or what have you, energy, and converts it into something real for the world. So you're certainly capable of accomplishment. Maybe you're overwhelmed by ideas. I'm not sure what my phone just picked up, but it responded to something I said. You might be challenged to want to do too much in this life instead of focusing on one single goal. So maybe you've had several things you want to accomplish in this lifetime and you've compromised and maybe just focused on a couple of goals. Or this could be an outside challenge, like somebody or an energy that challenges you persistently. Because when I was speaking about it, I got my response from my phone as if something wanted to come in and talk to me. People rely on you to be a magician, a manifester. I had to take a short break to leave and I'm back now. So I'm sorry to interrupt your reading, but we were talking about the world in reverse as part of your mission or sense of drive and purpose in this lifetime. And I kind of taking it literally, like you want to turn the world upside down in some way. Maybe dramatic change is something you aspire to. You might hear Louis in the background. He's talking to some birds. And with the Magician, there's this very creative energy. It's like you can make anything happen almost. So there's this high potential that you might feel pressure to live up to. And sometimes world in the reverse position can refer to not being able to complete a cycle fully. Now, for the echoes of the past, so maybe your past life self or your current past self, what would they want you to know? And we have 2 of Swords in reverse. So there might be an inability to make a decision about something, or you've made a decision. There was a decision made in the past. And then I'm calling this card transmissions from your future self, either in this life or the next. The Chariot in reverse. So something may go awry. Maybe we got off track. Something got off track. What we can do now, here here and now in this lifetime, 6 of Wands, which is about confidence, being in the public eye. So there might be a message here that you can convey to the world, or if not the whole world, just within your circles. There is a sense of victory here. I think if you can harness the energy of the magician, that creative potential, and broadcast it somehow, then you'd feel the sense of accomplishment and fulfilling a purpose. It's almost like you have a speech to make. And speech doesn't have to be like standing in front of a big group of people. It could just be writing something out, anything creative, really. Getting your message out there through expression and art or music, whatever your thing is, whatever your chosen medium, I should say, is. Let's get some clarifying cards for, let's just start over here with the 2 of Pentacles in reverse. Whoops. Okay, the lights went out and the card flew on the floor, so let's peek at what that is. Page of Wands. Okay. The pages can also be messengers. We have death, transformation, the end of something, and 9 of Wands. Some resistance here. So since this position is representing you and the essence of your soul, it's almost like you're here as a messenger to inspire people with the Page of Wands, but you're inspiring dramatic change, like really deep, intense, transformative change within people. And it's kind of exhausting. Or people have defenses around it. Or you might not want this task. You don't like taking on this task. Yeah, resistance to transformation, but you're possibly excited at the possibility of being able to transform, show people how to transform, how to change the world. And you're either saying you're tired of it or other people have blockages around it. They're putting up walls against your pursuit of change. That's no small feat. So yeah, let's get some clarity on the world in reverse. This is your mission here. Four of Pentacles, Page of Cups in reverse, the Emperor. So the Emperor is an authority figure, obviously. Could mean you're standing up to authority in some way or some construct that's been in place. The 4, there's 2 4s with the Emperor here. And you're kind of trying to make change through disrupting convention, perhaps. I think your mission here is to defy authority, to change people on a small level in order to bring about massive change. And you do it through small messages. You want to not hold on to traditional beliefs or constructs. You're kind of breaking down barriers with people with both of these cards. Four Pentacles is kind of letting go instead of holding on. But you try to do it in a nice way, but perhaps in little ways, small ways. You're going after a big issue with pages. I wonder why. Because you are the magician, you could use a lot more energy. You have a lot more talent and gifts at your disposal than what you're showing with these pages. It's also a breaking down of boundaries here, or transforming boundaries. Take it how it resonates. Okay, I want some clarity on echoes from the past or past life. This flew out 10 of Swords in reverse. So it might be healing. There was a painful situation that needed resolution. Okay. 8 of Wands. And King of Swords. Very clear communication. King of Swords is very logical, uses his words well. 8 of Wands can represent communication. So it might literally be the incoming communication is there's a message about healing old wounds. So something there was internal conflict over was resolved because of an ending. May have involved this King of Swords figure. What happened here? It's almost like you were stabbed in the back. Like you may have been mortally wounded, and then you're flying back into this life to be more of this authoritative, not necessarily authority, but very good with logic and your words, and very confident in your ability to speak to others and use reason. Because 2 of Swords in reverse can be a stalemate that's resolved through logical thinking. So maybe it's a message that you're coming back to this life with a more clear head than you had in the past. It's like I'm strong-minded. I know how to communicate clearly. That could be the public speaking I was getting with this 6 of Wands as well. And maybe you're here, like you were sent back to heal old wounds, to correct something from the past. That's cool. Maybe you're here to right the wrongs of the past. Now let's clarify transmissions from the future, the Chariot in reverse. Something went off the rails here. Hanged Man. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Ace of Cups reverse. Oh no. I'm thinking this is a warning. Things could go off the rails with your chariot spilling over or crashing if you don't stop and think about there's 2 opportunities here, and it's kind of reminding me of these 2 paths you're choosing at the opening of your reading with these 2 pentacles. We have an Ace of Pentacles and an Ace of Cups, so it could be something on the more emotional side, love related, and the pentacle could be something more in the 3D, like a coin or material or something like that. So there might be a choice here to make, or else you risk going off the rails. Your chariot might not propel you forward. And then the Hanged Man. Oh, it's not reversed. So you're being encouraged by your future self to really pause and evaluate your choices. Like, are you able to juggle these two things? Do you have to choose between them? Or can you truly balance both? And the Chariot does speak about balancing, like, every energy of each wheel. The four corners of your chariot have to be in alignment for it to take off in the right direction and to move forward properly. It's also this construct, it's kind of false sometimes. Chariot's not a working vehicle, it's more of a podium. And reversed, it could be like breaking away from that comfort zone. Future self might want you to know that you risk losing momentum. You risk not getting to your destination if you're too hasty about it. So slow down, have a plan, really think about what you're doing before you take off in a certain direction. Because you risk losing something emotional and something valuable to you in the real world. It's also kind of a stop and smell the roses impression, like be in suspension for a little while and enjoy your life, enjoy the emotional aspects and the physical aspects of life. So gratitude, always a good idea to reflect on what you're grateful for. Let's clarify what we can do in the here and now. 6 of Wands. Six of Pentacles. The Sun. 6 of Swords. So 6 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, 3 sixes, and the Sun. So again, I'm getting the image of being in the public somehow, sharing your knowledge or your creativity. You can use your skills to bring happiness or shine light on something. And here we have, could be an illusion of equality. These two figures are both getting pennies or breadcrumbs from this very wealthy person, distributing that. And the question here is that fair? I mean, they might be getting the same amount, but how much more could this figure be giving? And we want to move away from that. So the 6 of Swords is moving into a better, peaceful waters. You see the choppy waters. We're supposed to be moving toward these peaceful waters. It looks like you want to carry others with you and kind of overthrow an established structure. So what you can do now is speak up, risk being in the public eye, and use your creativity and your voice, because you've been sent here. Apparently, you've been reincarnated to be a clear speaker. Your Magician, King of Swords, that's very strong communication skills. Like you have a brilliant mind, it looks like. And the sun is a very cheerful energy, so you might also be very charming. And you can use that all to make this change that you seem to want to make. I think everybody would approve of. It's kind of that redistribution of wealth. We want to move away from that unfairness, and we're shedding light on that. Thank you so much for watching this video, Pile 1. I'm excited for your future and your past and your present. So please take what resonates, leave in the comments what you would like to share, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Hi, Pile 2. You chose the sea star and this polished piece of glass. I found this in a garden in California, and I thought it was interesting. It just happened to be in the dirt there, so I excavated it. So the sea star is actually also known as starfish, although not a fish, is a keystone species, meaning it's vital to maintaining the balance of its environment. Without it, the balance would be disrupted. So you might be somebody within your community or family who actually has a very important role in maintaining the flow and balance of things. And they also are kind of propelled by the water and move slowly with the ocean waves. There's no brain. I'm not saying you don't have a brain. Take it as it resonates. But you operate more based on instinct rather than logic, maybe intuition rather than rational thinking. You go with the flow. It's also a very old species. So if we're doing past life analysis, I would say you're a very old soul and you've been around quite a while. And you aren't easily rattled by much. Although you perceive everything, you don't let it affect you so much. There's an overall sense that you light people's lives up just by existing. You don't have to try. You just make people happy. You make people feel at ease. Let's move into the tarot reading. I'm using the Tarot of the Drowning World deck for this. It is in French, so I might have to pause briefly when I'm figuring out which card I've dealt. A little tricky to shuffle due to the longer shape. Okay, pile 2. I'm going to shuffle as I tune into your energy. I've created a 7-card spread, and I'll explain the positions as I set the cards on the table. Card 1 represents your soul in this lifetime, which is the sun. Beautiful. Your strengths is represented by strength. And card 3 represents your challenges, the challenges you're facing in this lifetime. The Magician, and that is the same card in the same position as pile 1, so you might want to check out pile 1 as well for even more messages. Card 4 represents your mission or sense of purpose and drive in this lifetime, and that is the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. This represents, I'm calling it echoes of the past. So any messages coming in from your past self or a past life self. This I'm calling transmissions from the future. So it could be a future life self or you in the future of this current life. 8 of Swords in reverse. And lastly, card 7 is what you can do now in this lifetime, in this present moment, based on the other information we get. All right. So representing you is the sun. So you might be a bright light in other people's lives, as we discussed with the Sea Star card. It's a very joyful energy. You bring joy to others. You like to help people grow and reach their potential. And you also may be good at shining a light on other people, kind of diverting focus away from yourself in order to highlight the strengths of other people. So it might be as simple as you're here to bring joy to this world in this lifetime. Or it could be, or in addition, it could be you bring things to light. You shine a light on things that may have gone unnoticed. You might also reveal the truth of things, shining a light into the darkness. And you might just generally have a very warm effect on others. And then as your strengths card, appropriately, we have strength. And you see the lion and the woman. So you know how to balance with others. There's 2 Leo cards here, might be worth mentioning. The sun and strength are both associated with Leo. You might take pride in the fact that you help others reach potential, help them glow, help other people shine, rather. The strength card is also a lion tamer card. So you might have a natural way of calming people down who might be more on the aggressive side, or if they're in a dysregulated state, you might be able to calm people down easily. You kind of have a nurturing effect on others, a warming effect. People might ask you for hugs a lot. You might like giving hugs. And like I mentioned before, this card came out in the same position for group 1 as a challenge, the Magician. So the challenge might be in manifestation. So turning ideas into reality, getting downloads from, if you believe in channeling from an external or higher source, and turning that into something in the 3D world. You're very creative, but somehow you're challenged by your own creative mind. And again, there's a lot of potential here to bring many wonderful ideas into creation. And the challenge might be to choose wisely what to do with all that creative energy and potential. 7 of Coins in reverse as your mission or sense of purpose is really interesting. Upright, you can kind of see it creates this amazing face in the leaves. And when 7 of Pentacles is in reverse, it's like you've stopped waiting for something to grow. You've lost your patience. You've kind of plateaued on something, and you're deciding not to hold yourself back any longer because something is refusing to work out the way you anticipated. So your mission in this lifetime might be to break free of that stagnation. Looks like the message from your past self is to not juggle, not be indecisive anymore. There may have been something or a situation in which you had to juggle two aspects of your life, and in reverse, it's like a message not to do that. Either to put one of those down and make a decision and choose one. And maybe these two are connected. If you spread your energy too thin, no one thing usually can really take off. That's not always the case, but if you wait too long for many different things to grow, you're not really giving all your attention to that one plant or in a garden or activity or sense of purpose, all the attention, so it can't really come to life in the way that it could potentially. So some kind of choice being made in the past. In the future self, we have 8 of Swords, which is saying, stop worrying so much. And that kind of echoes the message of the Sea Star. Go with your instinct. Don't overthink things. Don't get trapped in your mind. It's a kind of a message, just move forward. The overall message so far is don't overthink, keep moving forward, don't wait, don't get trapped in your head, because you can manifest things quite quickly. There's no need to wait so much. Like, we don't need a perfect plan here, we just need to move. And for what action you can take now in your current life, 10 of Cups. And 10 of Cups is kind of an all-encompassing community. It's about finding total harmony, an ideal environment. It's a very happy, harmonious card. And it seems like you're definitely the person to bring that to fruition, to life, with all this sunny energy, magician, and strength. It kind of seems like a don't worry, be happy message. What you can do now is appreciate what you have around you. This is often depicted with a rainbow in the background. And there's no rainbow here, but there are dolphins. Do you see the dolphins? These are such cool little cups. So dolphins represent playfulness, I believe, playful intelligence. So use your playful side, your youthful, optimistic disposition to inspire others to live in harmony. Like, I'm kind of seeing you as the person in a group who lights everyone else up and cheers people up and makes sure nobody's distressed. But it's also like, okay, come on everyone, pick yourself up, nothing to worry about. And we have a lot to do, by the way. Don't worry. There's work to be done, but we have it covered. Very strong, overall sunny disposition. Very warm and encouraging. So I think we can skip ahead and get some clarity around your mission, this 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Ace of Wands, Queen of Cups, 4 of Wands in reverse. Again, we have this very warm, nurturing energy of the Queen of Cups, who also moves with intuition like the sea star. We have the fire of inspiration, of conveying new ideas with the Ace of Wands. So I'm getting the impression you gently inspire others. Other people might not even know where their inspiration comes from, but it's coming from you because you do it in such a gentle way. It's like the flow of the sea moving through. And they'll have this great idea that came to them somehow. They can't quite place it, but the root of it was probably you planting a seed of an idea. But you do it from a very warm, open heart space. There's just such a kind energy coming from this group. Now, the Four of Wands in reverse could represent upsetting a structure in some way, or a relationship that's kind of reevaluated or turned upside down. I think what it is you make people rethink societal norms. So what I'm getting is you don't have patience for conventional thought, perhaps. So these four wands, they kind of box you in here. So you have a way of gently conveying new ideas that open people up to new possibilities outside of these two walls, these four wands. Like you kind of remove old structures, old boundaries from people's lives. And you kind of gently say like, oh, it's okay. Trust me, it'll work out. I'm also hearing you uproot things. So you might be nomadic in some way, or you just dig things up and replant or make them better, make the garden more lush in some way. It's a metaphor, of course. But it's like, let me show you how you can change the world with love, which is beautiful. I'm not sure exactly what this represents to you, but you would know better than I do. But it's something where other people seem to conform. Sometimes this is a marriage card. I think it's more broad than that. So some societal structure, societal norm, you're changing people's perspective on. So your life might look different from others who perhaps live life more by the books, step by step. This is what I'm supposed to do. However, it's still from a warm, welcoming heart space. And you seem very happy with your life. So now we'll clarify this echoes of the past position, 2 of coins in reverse. This could be a message from your past self in this life, or a message from past life self that you're carrying into this lifetime. The Chariot in reverse, the Lovers, 8 of Swords. Okay, so there's some kind of connection between the past and the future, it looks like, with the 8 of Swords in both positions. So there could be a through line here. Something you worry about in regard to a lover's connection. Could be a romantic soul bond of some kind, or just somebody you feel very deeply tied to. And then the Chariot in reverse is kind of like upsetting the apple cart. could mean to stop moving forward in a certain direction because it causes you a lot of anxiety. Or somebody here was really in their head over this, worried it wouldn't work out, could not move forward. There might have been, take it as it resonates, not everybody believes in soulmates, but the Lover's card here in the past life position, I do wonder if there's somebody from your past life who is now with you in this lifetime, and there's a lot of struggle to move forward with it because there's a sense of being tied up or restricted and unable to get out of your own way. There's a lot of mental activity over this connection. And so since this is clarifying the Two of Pentacles in reverse, it's like, again, like stop juggling, because the indecisive nature of the situation is causing a lot of distress. But there is this undeniable connection here. The Lovers is very compelling. I might circle back to that after we clarify the future self message. Okay. Okay, so I definitely think it's related. We have the Six of Cups, which also speaks about a soul bond from the past. So I'm interpreting that as this past, distant past or past life connection that will return in the future lifetime. So maybe the message is pretty simple. Don't worry so much, because this connection transcends time, transcends lifetime. I'm thinking of that line from Dracula where Gary Oldman says, "I've crossed oceans of time to find you." Anyway, very romantic, but a little corny. So Six of Cups, another soul bond, connection to the past. You will meet this person again in the future, appears to be the message. And if not in this lifetime, the next. Let's see what else comes out. Page of Swords. You might just be keeping a loose eye on this person. You both are very aware of each other. You'll be looking out, scoping the environment, looking around for this person, whether you're conscious of it or not in the future. You will always be on each other's minds in some way. That connection will not go away. Queen of Wands. So she's very fiery, passionate, a warm queen. Again, we have more fire energy with the sun and this Leo strength card. She's also referred to sometimes as the witch of the tarot court cards. So I feel like with her powers of attraction, she's very attractive. She always points toward the sun with the sunflower symbolism here. It's almost like saying you could always summon this person back at any time. Like, don't worry about it. So this Eight of Swords in reverse is don't worry about the thing that you're worrying about with this connection, this soul connection. It doesn't seem to break. I'm just seeing this kind of golden thread tying you two together. It's like glowing and spiraling, and it's very tightly wound, kind of like a rope, and it's glowing with golden sparkly light. I just saw that really clearly in my mind. So you are always tied together. It's like an unbreakable tether to each other. Wow, didn't expect that to come out. Okay, so let's finally clarify the Ten of Cups in present day, which is what we can do now in this lifetime. Death, Four of Pentacles, High Priestess in reverse. We might not be listening to our intuition around what makes things harmonious. There's kind of a resistance to transformation here. Something's wanting to transform, and there's a lot of resistance here with the Four of Pentacles wanting to hold on to what we have. Very strong urge to hold on to that sense of harmony and peaceful community and that sunny disposition that seems to come naturally to you. There's something here that is maybe happening on a lower subconscious level that you can't quite hear yet. You don't like that time is fleeting, is kind of the impression I'm getting. So the advice for now seems to be to let things flow through you, kind of like the sea star does. Embrace the flow of the water. There's something here trying to transform with death and be reborn that will actually make things more harmonious. I'm using that word a lot. Maybe the ideal that you have in your mind isn't the ultimate ideal. Things always need to flow and change, and you know this on a deep level, but you're resisting that information. Your intuition's blocked a little here. So try to open up to the idea of change and just enjoy what's happening in your life in the moment that it happens, and accept that change is the only constant. And I just peeked, there's the Three of Wands at the bottom of the deck, and that's about kind of planning for the future, continuing to move forward, even though you might not know the destination exactly. But it looks like just keep going with the flow. The overall message is, don't worry, there's a reason behind everything. You're not going to lose what's valuable to you. Just embrace gratitude in the moment. And I think a general reminder that you're like a sunny spot in other people's lives, and just your simple existence cheers other people up. So there's no need to force anything. I didn't do this for group one, but I meant to get a few letters. They might spell something or have initials that resonate for you. You have J, W, Z, and R. That does not spell anything. But they might be initials. I feel like I need more. You have A, T, and H. There we go. Hat. Jar, jaw. What? So let me know if any of this resonates. Let me know in the comments if you want to share any of your experiences. Maybe you can find something that makes sense for you in this random selection of letters. Okay, thank you, Pile 2. I hope this brought you clarity and insight, and I hope to see you at the next reading. Take care. Hello, Pile 3. You chose the Lynx card and the Tiger's Eye. The Lynx is a silent hunter or huntress. You might be somebody who thrives in solitude and embraces being at one with the nature around them. So you might be kind of a lone wolf type or a lone lynx, if you will. And what we can learn from the lynx is that it's wise to remain silent while you take in what's around you and devise a plan. So you might be very discerning, independent, and intuitive. But there's a risk here of becoming aloof and maybe too much of a loner. So maybe you work best alone. Maybe throughout your lifetimes you felt like a loner or somebody who just follows their own path through the forest. You also might be kind of sneaky. Okay, let's see what tarot cards we have for you. I'll be using the Tarot of the Drowning World for your reading. They're a bit clumsy to shuffle, but I've shuffled many times in between readings, but I'll tune into your energy. First card represents your soul in this lifetime, or the essence of you. We have the 9 of Cups. Second card represents your strengths, 4 of Wands. And the third card represents your challenges in this lifetime, the Sun. Your mission in this lifetime, or sense of drive and purpose. We have the 6 of Swords in reverse. Fifth card represents what I'm calling the echoes of the past, your past self in this life or past self in a past life. Card 6 represents what I'm calling transmissions from the future. That means any messages we might receive from our future self in this life or the next. And the last card is what you can do now in the here and now in this lifetime. And I happened to look, so I'll share with you the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. So there might be an undercurrent there of a lover's connection throughout the lifetimes. There was definitely one in Pile 2's reading, so you might want to check that reading out as well. So representing you and your soul as it travels through this lifetime, the 9 of Cups. Actually, that's the 9 of Pentacles. Okay, so also a good card. Very independent energy. You might be a self-made person. We were talking all about independence with this Lynx card. You're saying you did this yourself. You might be proud of the fact that you are able to create your own source of income, work independently. You might be a master at whatever craft you're involved with. You might really enjoy solitude, as we discussed with the Lynx card. And it's also a card about appreciating the fruits of your labor. So you work hard and then you enjoy what you've created for yourself. And that could also mean the environment around you. It's often depicted as a woman with a falcon in a vineyard. And vineyards take many years to sustain and grow into something worthwhile. So take that as a metaphor. Perhaps you are proud of what you created in your lifetime. So the good news is you seem to really enjoy your life. And you don't mind if you're alone. However, we do have this shadow energy of the Lovers. So we might have to dig a little deeper there. As your strengths, we have 4 of Wands. So that tells me you actually do value your close relationships. So you might be very selective, but it looks like you have at least one or more relationships in your life where you have clear boundaries. One of your strengths might be building a sense of home and community. It might be a smaller community, but it's still very precious to you. You might have a small family that you love deeply. It's also a card of celebration, but it does usually involve more than one person. So there's this dichotomy of kind of being a loner, but also enjoying the company that you do keep, which might be a small circle of people. With the Sun as a challenge is usually a very positive card. It still is, but if it's challenging you, it might be difficult for you to remain positive, to keep that sunny disposition. It's not always easy for you to be happy in these relationships that are actually your strengths. You are kind of saying, I really want all the relationships in my life, all my family members, my friends to get along and be happy together, not argue. And your perception of it is not always living up to your ideals of what those relationships could be. So your immediate relationships in your life, those closest to you, are of deep concern to you. However, sometimes you keep them at arm's length because you're very independent, and you try not to let their energy intrude on yours too much. But this is your challenge in this lifetime, is to shine a light on these relationship constructs. It's giving me a bit of a maternal energy, like I just want my children to be happy sort of feeling. I just want my parents, my brothers and sisters to all get along and be cheerful. And it's a challenge to you when that doesn't align exactly how you had hoped. But it shows a very kind-hearted person who cares deeply about maintaining the balance, maintaining the joy in your life and others' lives. And so the mission, your sense of drive and purpose in this life, the 6 of Swords in reverse. This is really interesting because it struck me when I turned it over. The 6 of Swords in reverse can be, and I don't mean this literally, but it's kind of like crossing the river Styx. So you might be investigating kind of the unseen world, realms beyond this. That's not usually my first impression with this card, but it was when I turned that over. So you might be deeply involved in esoterica. You're watching a tarot video, so it could very well be. I think you travel to places other people would fear to go, and you're able to do so because you have this lightness and independent bravery about you. You seem a bit stealthy, actually. With this Lynx card, Six of Swords, it's like you're not afraid to go where it seems a little dark and murky. And you don't leave anybody behind. If relationships are a concern and you want to improve them, if you realize you've forgotten someone or something important, you will turn around and grab that person or whatever that is and bring it with you. You like to include others at the same time as you like to be independent, if that makes any sense to you. So these two, your soul and your purpose, are kind of giving me the impression you're kind of a free agent, if you will. So in this Echoes of the Past position, we have the Four of Pentacles, which is about holding on to something. Holding on or holding back. There's some kind of physical boundary here from the past. So this position could represent this lifetime in your past or a past lifetime that you're not completely aware of. So we'll clarify that more because I'm not getting a whole lot of information from that at the moment. And then in the future self position, message from the future in this lifetime or the next, 10 of Cups in reverse. So could represent ideals not being met, some kind of emotional fulfillment that collapsed or it will collapse. I'm not declaring anything here, but it could be a warning. What your future self might want you to know is to maintain the harmony in your life, which you already seem very good at. We will have to clarify that as well. As your what you can do now in this lifetime, the Page of Wands in reverse, it's kind of cautioning you to look before you leap, have a plan of action before you take any. Don't be too hasty. You might be eager to go and it might be hard to take a step back and think before you go. Yeah, I would just avoid impulsivity at this time. But we will have to clarify that card as well. So let's get another deck. First I want to hop over here and clarify the Six of Swords in reverse. What might you be circling back around for? Nine of Cups, Seven of Swords, the Chariot. So there's a quick moving kind of stealthy, sneaky action happening here like we were talking about. It's like you quickly dive to the depths of this lake or something is a visual I'm getting. You quickly dive down and grab something before you run out of oxygen. And it's something that represents a wish fulfillment or a personal goal of yours. I think you see things that other people don't, and you're quick to use evasive maneuvers to get to that prize. You might be one of those types that likes to hop over fences and explore, maybe abandoned buildings and things like that. That's also coming to mind. But you like a good kind of like a spy operation. You like unraveling mysteries. It makes you really happy. It's like your favorite thing, it looks like. So your goal in life is to try to find alternative methods to happiness, it looks like. And you're pretty skilled at it. You're like uniquely skilled at it. Okay, interesting. Let's look at this Four of Pentacles in your past or past life position. What are you holding on to? What was held back? This might be why you feel this way in this lifetime, is because things were restricted from you in a past life. Have Two of Swords, Temperance, Three of Swords. So in the past there was heartbreak, heartache, rejection of some kind that needed a lot of time to heal from. And for a long time it confused you. You couldn't see a way out of it. There was a difficult choice to be made about holding on to something, and it ended in heartbreak somehow. My eyes are drawn back to the Lover's card. There might have been a heartbreaking situation in the past, or a difficult decision had to be made, and it was heartbreaking, and probably for the both of you. A balance couldn't quite be found, or you tried really hard to hold on to that balance, that sense of harmony that seems to be coming back as a message in the future. Okay, let's dig a little deeper. I need to clarify the Ten of Cups in reverse. So your soul, or your lineage, your DNA seems to be holding on to this fear of losing something, probably matters of the heart. Losing something in matters of the heart is what I mean. Okay, let's clarify this card. Ten of Cups in reverse from our future selves. Two of Cups. So it could be a relationship, a romantic relationship, or just a partnership of some kind. The Queen of Cups. Yeah, it looks like a really loving relationship. And the Hermit. This all seems very positive and healthy. The Hermit comes from a place of wisdom, has walked a long path to find this partnership, which looks really loving and warm and beautiful. But it is clarifying Ten of Cups in reverse, so could mean something goes awry with this relationship that looks very strong. I'm gonna need more information on that. Why is the Ten of Cups in reverse? Okay, so somebody made an offer here, an offer of love. Might have been this Queen of Cups. I'm sensing offering this cup their heart. And I am reminded that this Lynx card is kind of this independent Nine of Pentacles energy. Hermit can also be a loner, obviously. So I think there's a warning here from your future self. If you don't accept this person's, I think, very beautiful offer of love, relationship of some kind, you could end up a hermit that's kind of sad. The Ten of Cups in reverse is not a very happy energy, I gotta say. So you might regret making a choice down the line to not embrace love and partnership, or to not seek it out. Like, use your lantern maybe to find more than just this independent lifestyle, because you do value relationships. I think that's the message. Okay, let's try to clarify what you can do now in the present moment with the Page of Wands, which is about exercising caution when it's in reverse. Five of Pentacles. Same card. Page of Wands in reverse. And Knight of Wands in reverse. Yeah, it's really saying not to be hasty with a decision, because it could lead to isolation. There might be something you're thinking about taking action toward, and it might not be a great idea, or it might be a good idea, it's just not well thought out and calculated enough yet. What are you planning to do? What are you thinking about? There's something about being removed from a home. Something about the home here. Four of Wands could be a home, a structure, a house. As does Five of Pentacles. You're usually walking by an internally illuminated church and you see the windows. But these two figures are out in the cold. There could be a decision or a move on your mind. I'm wondering if you should just hold off on making that decision for now. I just happened to glance at the bottom of the deck. Five of Wands. There could be an argument, a disagreement about something happening here. And the advice is to not to pick a fight right now. Just don't engage in arguments at this time, is the message I'm receiving. It could disappoint you in the present moment not to take action toward this idea or thought you have. But in the long run, it's for the best if you pause. Let's just get some general advice here, if we can, from the Gypsy Oracle cards. Advice for pile 3, please. Okay, that's a lot of cards, but I'll take the first few. Journey. Yeah, there's something about travel here. An independent journey. Are you thinking of going on a journey? Maybe wait on that, hold that thought. Kitty. I don't know why the cat is associated with falseness, but falseness, okay. A false journey. Maybe that's what you're supposed to hold off on. Okay, I accidentally pulled 2, so we have a foe and melancholy. So not overwhelmingly positive cards. Yeah, I think this is about what could lead to sorrow down the line. You don't want this regret following you around into the future. There's something here I think could be improved upon, a relationship, probably a romantic one. And there's a word of caution here about sabotaging something that could be really good. But there's a fear of rejection that comes from a past life, it looks like, that's preventing you from fully embracing this love offer. You might want to flee from it. You might have what's called an avoidant attachment style, or anxious avoidant attachment, which means your instinct based on your personality, your life experience, trauma, etc. Your instinct is to avoid and flee from intimacy and close relationships. So I'm thinking back to this Sun card as a challenge for you in this life. So the happiness of finding a relationship might be your challenge, but your strengths are relationships, which is complicated. I imagine that's hard for you. Looks like we're suspicious of somebody, something about moving or a journey. I'm sorry I can't quite pinpoint what's going on. So we have fear of rejection and abandonment. It's influencing your decisions. So I'd really investigate that. Like, you are able to go deep within yourself and uncover why it is you feel this way. I think that might be good for you. And there's also a lot of healing. So the Temperance card and the Hermit are about healing over a long period of time. So there might be an effort to heal something over these lifetimes or from your past to your future. It might sound a little corny, but it looks like you're in the process of healing your heart and someone else's over this lifetime, maybe a past lifetime and the next. Let's just get a few initials or letters. They could spell something. Whatever you see when this falls on the table. We have G, T, D, E, F, and I. So fit, bid, big, dig. You do like to dig, investigate, looks like. Yeah, and there might be initials, like I said. Whatever you see. I hope this was helpful for you in some way, or insightful, or brought you some clarity around a situation. If you'd like to share in the comments what's going on in your life, I would be fascinated to hear about it. And best of luck to you, Pile 3, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for being here and watching this video. I hope these messages helped you in some way. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, there's a link in the description box to my website, tarotconcertina.com. I'm wishing you good health, happiness, and abundance, and have a great rest of your day.